Hello, hello to all of our beautiful, beautiful listeners all around the world. And my name is Wilson, and we
I
also
am
have.
Billy.
Mhm.
hmm
And today we are going to be covering another Asian film, particularly an Asian animated film by Studio Ghibli. Ooh. Nope, it's not Spirited Away. Nope, it's not Princess Mononoke. It's not Castle in the Sky, which is actually one of my favorite ones so far. Shocking, huh? I because I do know people really enjoy Spirited Away. They really like My Neighbor Totoro, but for some reason, the most Disney one is the one that resonates me with the most, which I think it tells a lot about myself. Maybe because I'm a sucker for Disney, I guess. You know, it has a pretty cliche kind of wholesome story, which I kind of like. So I don't know. Um, let's talk about this film called The Tale of Princess Kaguya. Apparently, this came out in 2013. Because I thought for a while it's a new film, but it's not. It's directed by Isao Takahata, which is not Mr. Miyagi himself, our
Miyagi, Miyazaki. It's Miyazaki.
Miyagi. I think
It's
I
not
watched
a karate sensei.
Yeah, I think I watched too much Karate Kid. Sorry, Mr. Miyazaki-san.
Hmm.
Um, or in this case, Sensei Miyazaki. Is that the proper way to credit him? Sensei
Honestly, I don't
Miyazaki.
know. I don't know. I mean, like, I do know that you use sensei for either teacher or doctor, but I don't know if it's when it comes to work of art, an artist.
Because he technically is already considered a master of his own craft, right? That people really respect him to the core. As in, they even consider him as just basically the Japanese industry standard at this point. Even his
So
son, even his son was able to capture his magic, if that makes sense.
I
Because
thought
remember his
they
son.
hate his son's movie.
Yeah. They hate. Okay, so Miyazaki, right? Mr. Miyazaki, he didn't even came to the screening for his son's latest film. I think it's called The Ear Witch something. The Earwig, The
Uh-huh.
Witch and the Earwig. I forgot what's the name. It's such a weird title. Um, he didn't came to his son's screening, which is actually like wow. I mean, if I'm his, I don't know if I guess if I'm one of their relatives or like one of their friends, I'll be just thinking, wow, that's kind of a bit of a fool, a bit of fool yourself to do that. Because no matter what, right, you would probably want to support your child's right, your child's dreams and their ambitions. But in this case, this guy's like, nope, you don't know shit about animation. Do not make 3D movies ever again. And I think he probably would not be doing that for some time.
Oof.
Yeah, it's just a huge, huge blow. I cannot imagine how much stress that like the son has with all that fucking pressure. Because you know that okay, your dad is a legend, right, at this point, and then you have to also live up to him at some point. It could either and that, and also obviously make your own kind of career in your own way, even though you're also dealing with animation as well, for your filmmaking. I can't imagine like how much pressure like these people like get because we,
Hmm.
could- we could talk about like the because I know how crazy the workflow that they have to put through to produce every single film like in general, which I'll talk about like later. But in this case, we'll talk about this film, The Tale of Princess Kaguya. It's directed by Isao Takahata. Also, I think he also wrote the script. And you wanna go for the English dub first or the Japanese people?
What do you mean? I mean, I watch it with English, with Japanese dub, not English
Uh,
dub.
uh,
Yeah.
very, very cultured man indeed, huh? Mm.
Yeah, it's just because it's the default one on Netflix.
Oh, okay, good, good, good. Mm, so
And
I
I'm watching it
also
with my partner, so she's a pro sub all the way. For me, I'll say it's very dependent on which what movie you're watching. I'll say some Japanese movies is better if you watch it dubbed.
yeah, yeah, true, true. I watched Cowboy Bebop, also an English dub, believe it or not, which I think it helps a lot more compared to the Japanese one. I mean, yes, the Japanese one is still good, but for some reason, when I try out the English dub, it sounds so much more natural. I don't know why. I think it's because of the more westernized, um, world building that they set up, so it fits
Yeah,
with the lore. But okay, back to the film. Um, I'm guessing I'm gonna just shout out like the English dubs first. Anyway, so we have Chloe Grace Moretz who voices the obviously the Princess Kaguya herself,
hit girl from Kick-Ass. Remember her?
girl,
Yep.
and
Yep.
and that I don't know why in my head now I'm thinking of that film called The Fifth Wave. If you have you heard of that? The
I've seen
disaster
the trailer.
movie. Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
is it a disaster movie? I thought that's an alien invasion movie, right? Is it?
Wait. I think the movie is literally so you have different waves of invasions. If I'm mistaken, is it?
Alien invasion?
Yeah,
Okay. You know what? It's okay. I'll check it out later.
Uh, probably not.
Alright.
I mean, I don't know why it comes in my head, but that's the movie I was thinking now. Yeah, what is she's also in. I haven't seen her actually in a while too. Since Kick-Ass, she's been in a lot. That's what I know, but I didn't. Hmm. Oh yeah, there's this terrible Carrie remake that she's in, and you remember? Oh yeah, this one, Tom and Jerry. I think it came out last year. Or the beginning of
Oh,
this
right.
year. Yeah, yeah, yeah. eh, yeah, you gotta pay your bill somehow. Um, not sure if anybody here knows James Caan with the double A, Mary Steenburgen, and obviously, oh, this one I'm pretty sure people would know. James Marsden, who plays in Cyclops in the original X-Men movies. He's playing Prince Ishitsukuri. Mm-hmm. No, we're not debating about
Uh,
X-Men like
yeah.
for this episode. No.
Anyway.
Yeah. So then the Japanese ones, Asakura, Kengo Kora, Takeuchi no Nobuko Miyamoto, and so many other people who are just as talented. I mean, honestly, even I'm pretty sure the English dubs, also the actors and actresses did a fantastic job, even though I haven't actually listened to it, but because you still have to keep in mind that these people actually still do the same kind of amount of work to understand the character and understand like the lore and all this stuff to make their the voice fit with the tone and just basically the whole story itself, right? So
Sure, sure. Praise
yeah,
the things that you haven't seen before.
what do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, you haven't listened to it.
Well,
Anyway,
I haven't listened to it, but I'm just saying that I think I have to address that people have to still respect the dub actors are also just as hardworking as the Japanese ones because you still need to do work to
mm,
deliver what you need to deliver, right?
yeah.
So yeah, respect your American pals. Anyway, um, yeah, what do you think about the film, Mr. Billy
You
Cooley?
know, I think the movie is pretty dark if you think about it, because it's basically about a woman in this very socially rigid society,
Oh.
um, and then like basically she doesn't have her freedom,
Mm.
and it get taken away. And then the more I read into it, there's actually an allegory of suicides here.
I think because me, because I mostly stay in the city, so I don't usually get to experience this kind of thing. So this is like the only some stuff, the only resource that I can experience of a bit of that village life. I mean, I can go on a road trip, but nah, nah. Uh, I like my room. Uh, but yeah,
Yeah,
I really do enjoy that part. I mean, obviously, yeah, you got the second half, which is a bit more serious because that's when she actually is I'm not even sure if she's technically a legal adult, as in an 18-year-old, because I'm assuming
It's
during that time.
magical. It's all magical.
Yeah, because the thing is that you're not too sure how old is she exactly. I'm assuming at the end of the film she's at least more than 16 years old. I'm pretty sure. Because if you did pay attention, they did mention about like, oh yeah, it's been 3 years that we haven't seen you. So
But
I'm not.
she did run away. Remember, she ran away to the village, and then she met
Mm,
like a a guy who was making charcoal, and then he said that it'll take
mm,
the mountain 10 years before it returns to its to return to green again. So in a way, there is that 10 years passing, and then we don't know
mm,
the exact timeline between those time with those five suitors, and then when the emperor
mm,
actually take an interest in her. So
mm,
at
mm,
least 10 years. Well, I mean, if you include the time on the mountains too, maybe who knows, maybe 13 years or so.
mm. Yeah, yes. Yeah, I guess you're right.
Hmm.
So the thing is here, the interesting thing I found about the film is you don't actually know how much time has exactly passed. They didn't
Hmm.
tell you explicitly. There's no. So when you're seeing like these, um, I don't know, superhero films, they usually have like this timestamp or at least some sort, or at least a text below showing that, oh, 3 years later, 4 years later, or like sometime in the future, something like that. Like they don't actually show that. It's more of they just show it through visual, and you kind of have to assume how long has it passed. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I think at the end of the film, I think she's at least safe to say at least 18 years or above, because you did say like 10 years. So um yeah, pretty sure
But
she's
we don't
already.
know.
I mean,
We
you
don't
you,
know.
you don't know exactly, but you can somewhat speculate if that makes sense.
Yeah, she grows up very fast. Also,
Oh
in
yeah.
the
Oh yeah.
original folklore, right? She actually grew up into an adult in 3 months in the
Oh
original manuscript.
oh
Yeah, because I've been
oh.
reading the source material. Oh well, at least I didn't find the actual source material text, but I've realized like reading someone's narration, explanation, or even the play by play from the stage play.
So okay, I want to understand first. So is this originally a play? Is it a poem? Is
It's
it
a monogatari, so it's basically it's a narrative form. It's a Japanese. Yep.
Ah. Oh, okay. All
And
right.
this is the actually the oldest monogatari in Japan. So the oldest
Oh, wow.
poem there is. Yep.
Oh, wow.
At least the one that survived.
Mm. Wow. Okay. Hmm.
Yeah. And then like
Interesting.
the movie itself, right? Basically, I mean, how to put this? I noticed that the actual poem itself, it
Yeah.
kind of play into this like apparently it's categorized as a sci-fi, believe it or not. Pretty crazy, right? Because she's from the moon, and I think by this point, right, if since they don't the Japanese don't really worship moon as a god or something, basically like
Mm,
it's just like this fantasy element.
mm,
But then I don't know. Somehow it's categorized as sci-fi because there is actually a mention of a UFO, a flying saucer at the end. But
mm.
the story itself, I think, it's an allegory of the status of women during those time period. I mean,
Oh.
I noticed that in a lot of culture, right? There's always this
Mm.
story about um, a very different woman, like standing up for herself and basically, like
Oh,
saying
yeah.
no to suitors.
Mm. Mm.
Um, and then, like it has that allegory, but on the same note, the movie itself actually make her life more tragic. Um, for example, like those five suitors, right? I think two of them end up legitimately lied to her. The guy who was supposed to get a begging ball, like Buddha's begging ball, right? He came up with a fake. Apparently, like in the story, it's implied that it's actually a real thing, but he couldn't be bothered to go to India, so he just make a fake.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it's a bit silly. He asks a
Mm.
sailor how long does it take to go back from
Mm.
Japan and India back and forth, right? The sailor said 3 years, so he just hide in another town for 3 years, and then by the time 3 years up, he just come back and get a fake ball just to make it seem that he got it. And then so is the same story with the guy who made the came up with the fake branch, the jewel branch.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah.
my favorite one. That's my favorite
Um,
one.
Although the guy who bring back the fire rat skin, like yeah, the fire rat skin, he actually legitimately believe it is that. He's not faking it, but he did spend a shit ton of money trying to find it in China. Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. So there's this there's this special cloth where it if you burn it, it keeps like it keeps glimmering and stuff. Is it?
yeah, yeah. It's
Mm,
supposed to glimmer, but then it kind of
mm,
explains his emotion, right? Because he
yeah.
didn't necessarily believe it's fake
Mm.
at first, at least.
Yeah.
Like
So
he was nervous, but he didn't necessarily believe it straight away.
yeah, so we have you have a guy who is literally a con artist, and then you have a guy who literally got conned. And then
Yeah, like two of them is a con artists.
yeah,
Although I do like the way that they changed the guy who's supposed to bring back the begging ball, and that he came back with a flower instead. You know, basically like trying to
oh
manipulate
yeah.
Kaguya
Oh
through emotion.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's actually pretty smart, I would say. It's pretty smart.
yeah, pretty smart touch.
Mm,
The other two, it played out pretty much the same, except at least that person didn't die, like the fifth
mm,
suitor.
mm.
Although I suppose like his death is basically supposed to make Kaguya even more sad.
Mm.
Yeah, because she has blood on her hand.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not sure. So at the end of the film, did she actually got married to one of them?
No, wait, hang on. What? I thought you watched a movie.
I did. I just wanted to make sure because
No, she didn't marry anyone.
so okay, like you want to talk about the ending? Want to talk about the
The
ending?
ending. Yeah,
Yeah.
basically, that whole procession from the moon. Yeah, that's pretty trippy.
Yep. And could you explain what's the allegory about?
To be completely honest with you, the whole thing is so weird, right? I feel like
Mm.
you could write an SCP article from it. I'm not joking. There are some SCP stories where apparently one SCP is like supposed to be of a noble from another dimension or whatever you call it, and um then there's God or whatever come and fetch that SCP and then like cause a lot of ruckus. But anyway, yeah, it's so weird, right? It's just basically like these beings who are devoid of human emotions, and heck, the leader is it's not confirmed, but he does look like Buddha.
Pretty sure that's
Which,
Buddha. I'm pretty sure
yeah, probably.
that's Buddha himself.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, you could debate that. Oh, it's just an image of Buddha. It's not really him, because Buddha is living in a different dimension or something. Like dark
but
side, blah blah blah.
but the whole
Uh,
explanation of the city of the moon on the moon, right, is basically it's nirvana, where it's a place
oh
where
yeah,
you don't feel
yeah.
suffering,
Mm.
nor like earthly feeling, but at the same time you don't feel joy. It's like it's a sensation of static.
So it's literally there's this thing that I also kind of um I came across this thing. It's not thing. It's just a word. What's the word?
What?
Uh, because you said Nirvana, right? Nirvana
Yeah.
is more of a eternal like what's this thing called? Not hap not ha Okay, let me just take a look very quickly. What is a nirvana, as in the actual definition? Is it eternal happiness? No, right?
No, it's not actually. It's a state or a place. Actually, it's really hard to describe, right? Unless you really like head deep into like Buddhism. But it's a place. Oh yeah, basically, it's a condition where you are. outside the cycle of death and rebirth. Because in Buddhism there is the concept of heaven and hell, but the thing is,
and also rebirth, like
yeah.
reincarnation.
But but in Buddhism, right? Even in heaven and hell itself, right?
Yeah.
It's basically just another form of living. I mean, sure,
Uh-huh.
in one place you're happy, but in another place you suffer. But then again, the fact that there's an ounce of suffering, that means that it's by itself is not perfect. So that's
Mm.
why hardcore Buddhists, they try to achieve nirvana, because it is thought that like if you let go of earthly sensation, you can achieve more, achieve this state of perfection, and that is
I guess
nirvana.
you're right.
Yeah,
Mm.
but you don't feel
Okay.
happiness as well. You just feel
Oh.
content.
Oh.
Yeah, which
Hmm.
is probably described here. Honestly, it's an interesting take because the original
It
source
is.
material does not refer Buddha at all, and it is played out like completely alien. Heck, one of the interpretation, right? Kaguya was sent to Earth because there was war on the moon, so she was sent to Earth for safekeeping. So she's practically like Superman. I'm not joking. It's one of the interpretation, and then like the gold itself, right? It's actually a payment from the moon people
Oh.
for whoever takes care of Kaguya. But that's the thing, though,
Mm.
right? It's also interpreted by the father as the will of the heaven, right?
Mm.
Man, yeah, this movie actually has so many layers because it does remind you to like it's a symbolism of how people interpret occurrence into a religious dogma, right?
True. True. True.
Yeah, because he kept saying like, "Oh, this is the will of the heaven," and then like she is talented for this, like she's talented for the noble life. That means she can be happy as a noble. That's her fate, meant to be that way.
She can. I don't think the word is can. She should be happy if to in a noble life.
Yeah, like that. That's what the father think, right? So she should
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
happy. Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Because she can play the instrument very well, and then like possess
Uh.
that air of grace.
Mm. Mm. Very very Asian thing to do too.
Mm.
You can't play instruments. You're ain't shit. You know. Well,
I wonder if there's like
yeah,
a 10
I
year
cannot
old.
play. I mean I cannot play any instruments to be honest with you. I tried to
Shame
play
on
the
you.
piano once, and I also did try to have some guitar lessons back in the day, but
Mhm.
man, never go anywhere.
Yeah,
I'm starting to regret a little bit too, but it's okay
I mean, it's worth it.
because I
It's
have
okay.
other talents like voice acting or making this podcast. If this counts as a talent, I don't know.
Voice acting, eh? Would love to hear
Comedy,
that.
comedy.
Comedy?
Hmm.
Interesting.
Hmm. Do I make you laugh?
Uh,
Am I a joke to you?
Not particularly today. Try harder next time.
Hmm. Well, that is a horrible reference to the
Yeah.
Goodfellas film. If you did get that, am I a clown? Am I a joke to you?
Oh, right, the
Get it?
Goodfellas. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I remember that now.
Hmm.
All right. Anyway,
Okay.
so yeah, like I feel like this movie resonates differently from people to people, right? Like, how do you interpret the whole thing anyway?
I see more of a straightforward um it's still a tragedy because the thing is she if you look at it as with just a a normal lens, if that makes sense. It's still quite tragic because she left everybody to go back to where she belonged, right? She go back to where she belonged, which is the
The
people
moon.
in the moon. Well, the moon obviously can mean many things, but if you look at it as just a straightforward story, it still actually works quite well too because uh yeah, it does actually now because you mentioned about Superman, it does actually remind me a lot about Superman too. Well, except that Superman's homeworld is destroyed. In her case, it's not. So that's good. So at least
I mean,
she still have a home to go back to. Not like Superman is like, oh well. I guess I have to make
oh,
my own home now. You know?
let's be real though. Like, if there's a story, wait, actually, there are a lot of Superman story where
Mhm.
he met some kryptonites, right? and he has the
Oh.
choice to go back with them, right?
But
Like, and then he chose to stay
but
on Earth.
but the thing is that,
I
well,
mean,
okay,
Kryptonians, right? Not
so
Kryptonite,
you
sorry.
have, yeah, Kryptonians. So you, but yeah, you have he can return. I guess he should return if you want to go as to the extent. But you also need to keep in mind that in many iterations of the planet Krypton, it's very militaristic, authoritarian, and uh,
Okay, are we talking about Zack Snyder's movie?
not just that one. Actually, most iterations of Krypton it's a very militaristic society. So and it's also kind of communistic too, because everything you do is actually for the greater good of the government and something like that. So
So is it
I
as
think
hardcore as Omni-Man's Homeworld?
uh, I'm not sure how hardcore it is. I think it depends on like which iterations, but the one that I'm quite familiar with is, yeah, the people there are very like straight to the point. You have to do this, otherwise you're facing consequences, and we as a society as a whole do not see you benefit our society, and then that's how basically people get um like condemned. Well, yeah, I guess you can say it's kind of similar to Omni-Man's Homeworld, but sorry if I'm going going to come on the book realm now, uh, but yeah, I think Kaguya, the story itself is quite straightforward, and it's quite, yeah, it's quite wholesome too. I actually enjoy it, to be honest with you.
I
Maybe
do
not
enjoy it too.
not as much as some other Ghibli films, but it's still quite, yeah. It's
I
a
would say the
pass.
animation is phenomenal here.
The what? Oh, the
The animation,
animation. Oh
yeah.
yeah. Yes, yeah. Because you can tell it's completely done it like to hand. It's whole hand drawn. I'm pretty sure. I don't think you have any other options to do this.
Oh yeah, you cannot.
It has to be hand drawn. Like there's no other options, because you can see every stroke, every little bits of transitions. All these. Um, I think they're mainly using the techniques that you usually see in those Japanese, like old ancient Japanese paintings, where
Mhm.
I'm assuming it's more color based. Uh, yeah, like sorry, not water. I think is more towards watercolor
Yeah,
based
watercolor.
art style, specifically speaking, which I also which I think it works with this context, because it is a folk, an old folk tale, so it makes sense to make it in this way. And oh yeah, okay, just go back, just go to the bit of the trivia now. This is actually probably one of the most expensive Studio Ghibli films
Ooh,
ever, as ever. It's I think it beats um what's the most expensive Studio Ghibli film? I think Spirited Away is one
I
of
don't
is
know.
like the second one. Yeah, but
Really,
my point is, it cost 49 million to make this movie. That's 5 billion yen estimate.
that's a lot in Japanese industry, right?
That's a lot of money, and I don't even think Red Light or what's other films that I also really enjoyed. Yeah, like
Redline
even
bankrupt its own studio, right, to make.
yeah, I don't even think it cost that much. I think Red Light
Oh
cost
boy,
about 10 million to make in total over the course of 10 years. Um, without considering inflation, obviously. But yeah, that's just a lot of money. And then you also need to keep in mind that the movie flopped too.
oof.
How much
Big
did it
oof.
make?
Only half of it, even less actually.
Wow,
Yeah.
half.
But here's the thing, right?
Really bad.
I'll say it's a really good movie anyway. I'll definitely it's not a top 10 movie, but then one thing for sure, right? I really hope that now it's going on to streaming format. It makes some more money just to cover that because there's a lot of talent and passion put into this.
I'm not sure if it's gonna cover the costs
I
very
mean, no,
soon.
not you can't cover all of the costs, but hopefully some
Mm.
of it. Maybe like, hey, 5 million is not small. even if you get a 5 or even 1 million.
No,
It
no.
ain't a small amount.
This is 5 billion yen, not million.
Oh
Billion
yeah,
yen.
yeah. But sorry, I'm talking in US dollar
Uh
because I think it's like the whole movie is 50 million US dollar.
wait. Where did you watch this film? Because I watched it on Netflix.
I watch on Netflix too.
Mm-hmm. And also considering well now there's this controversy that Netflix is starting to give well not give, they're trying to put in advertisements within their streaming service, which I think is really
Ah,
terrible, and
ah.
it's such a horrible idea for you to do that, because that is the sole reason why people choose streaming service, is because one of the reasons is that they don't want to see commercials. That's the reason why. Otherwise, it's just go back to TV. I mean, I might as well just go back to using TV. You know, it's actually cheaper.
I mean, if you're ranting about advertisement, right? If you think about it, on Spotify, for example,
Mhm.
you can pay to skip ads, but when you're listening to podcasts, including this very podcast, you cannot skip ads.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's also another thing
that's so
too.
dumb.
It is. It
Because,
is.
like,
It is.
I mean, I suppose because probably they make the decision, like some podcasts, right? They have
Mm-hmm.
sponsorship, so it's part of the message. But then, so they decide like if they want to make a dynamic advertisement, then they might as well not bother with it, like not bother making exceptions. That's my interpretation.
Mm, mm,
But anyway, enough
mm.
ranting about streaming services. Let's go back to the movie.
Okay, I want to say something I don't like.
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, the feels a bit draggy, because the thing is, like I said, wait, no, I haven't mentioned about this too. So this film goes about 2 hours and 17 minutes. That's the longest film by Studio Ghibli, with Princess Mononoke being the runner-up now.
Yep.
With Beast Princess Mononoke by 3 minutes longer. Um, I actually kind of do feel a bit of the runtime, because especially I think around the middle, it's where it starts to kind of drag a little bit too long. I think they could trim it out a little bit. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but the pacing could be like I really like the pacing. I say, as in the first half, before she becomes the princess, right?
Hmm.
Before she was taken to the, the castle. I don't know what's it actually called. Uh, I really like that part. The pacing is almost perfect. I really I like it a lot.
I feel like
But
there are a few segments that can be cut in the first act.
but I think I don't know. Maybe because I just really, maybe because I'm just happy to see somebody who understands that you don't need to take 12 years to make a biography about a little kid growing up. You know,
Literally, right? There's no plot.
what do you mean by no plot?
Boyhood have no plot, right? It's just basically you see the kid grow up and he just do whatever he wants, right?
Yes, yes. But I think it's also the fact that I don't know why the movie goes for 3 hours long, where you can just cut that shit into 30 minutes, and it's pretty much this one. So yeah, you don't need to go for 3 hours. You can just do it for 30 minutes, and then you can introduce the actual story right there, which I think
Oh man, like I
the
still don't
sec
like Boyhood because like there's I remember there's one time skip, right? He literally start using drugs and like well that came out of nowhere. There's no influence from friends or anything.
could you imagine if around the middle of the film, Princess Kaguya, it's like so done, she's gonna go to like one of her village friends and like, hey, you want to get high? Let's get high.
Bloody dumb. But
But yeah, I think issue is a bit of the pacing, but that's just maybe because of me. It's more of a preference issue, and what else?
I like slow movie once in
Um,
a while.
I like it. I mean, I like it too, but there's also the feeling of, like, you could trim that down. Even
Mm.
okay, even I also okay. I like. I think I've talked about this also before. I actually, I didn't say it's the best superhero movie, but it is a pretty pretty solid superhero movie, even though it's 4 hours long. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm talking about. Um, yeah,
Justice League.
the no, the superior version.
Ah,
So
yeah.
that one goes for 4 hours long, and even that one, I'm thinking you could cut that down to 3.5 at least 3.5, or maybe even three if you're able to reshoot some of the scenes just to stitch them back together. Because I think 4 hours, I don't think you need that much content, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of scenes that just goes on and on and on. I mean, I get it. You could cut that out, and go next scene and go to um the actual story where it actually matters. Like, come on, man. But maybe this is me. Maybe it's also because of the director's is just his style, I guess. Because I haven't seen any of his other films. Have you?
No, I haven't. This is my first time seeing
Uh,
this guy's movie.
what else did he make? I'm kind of curious. Oh yeah, this he hasn't made this one.
Lupin the
Um,
Third.
wait, he did that?
Well, the TV series.
Oh, okay. Um,
Castle in the Sky.
wait, he did Castle in
Nausea
the
of
Sky?
the Wind. Yep. Grave of the
Wait,
Fireflies. Oof. Oof.
wait. He did Castle in the Sky? Hang on a second.
Yeah, he did. Oh no, he didn't
He
direct it. He produced it.
okay.
I take it back. But he did Grave of the Fireflies.
I heard a lot of good things about that. Actually, maybe we can touch that on someday.
Yeah, yes, I
Um,
need more depressing movies.
it's not that depressing. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, believe whatever you want, man.
Mm,
But
um,
anyway.
well, maybe because I don't actually read the TV tropes. I guess that's just more on you, you know.
Oh yeah,
Sorry about that, but yeah.
yeah. Oh, they
Uh,
actually made a documentary of him making the movie. Actually,
oh, that's interesting.
Isao Takahata and his tale of Princess Kaguya.
Oh,
Huh,
okay.
I'm curious
Right.
because yeah, he talks about. I do know from TV tropes, right, that he talked a
Hmm.
lot about the like his symbolism that he included as part of this movie, and some
Yep.
of them gets real dark, like super
Hmm.
dark.
Hmm. Okay. Is there anything else you want to talk about here? I think we covered
Yeah,
most
that's
of it.
about it. Yeah.
Hmm. How much would you rate the movie?
Ooh, I don't know. I'll give it an 8.
Okay, an
Maybe
8.
a high 7 actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like here's
I
the thing, right?
get.
I have to admit that
Hmm.
this movie is good, but it's not that marketable.
It's not the marketable. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So
And
like where's the charm of watching a Japanese folklore that I wonder if most Japanese people actually even know about this folklore. I wonder. I don't know about it.
I I don't think so. I don't think so. Unless maybe if you're taking literature
Yeah,
in
probably.
the Japanese university. Just learn, maybe I might want to ask my Japanese friends in my uni, just to make sure that if they actually are familiar with this, at least the fill. You don't have to be familiar with the folklore. And even if they do, I wouldn't be that shocked.
Mm.
Because yeah, I do have a so in case you guys didn't know, I used to be more active in this Japanese club, but now I'm like, yeah, once in a while I'll just come by. But yeah, they're really really into Japanese culture. I'm not talking about anime. No, I'm talking about like everything,
Oh yeah,
including
sure.
including uh including the what other things. I mean, yeah, food,
You
music.
can
Yeah,
justify your
yeah.
weak behavior.
Well, no. It's not just weeb. It's they're also so into J-pop as well, which I also listen to J-pop, but not as crazy as that, if that makes sense. Because every time I come in the room, they would just be blasting this rock, this J-pop rock music, and it just makes me feel like, man, kind of wants me to go back and watch another Kamen Rider series. Anyway, yeah,
I
I
mean,
think I read the movie 7 as well. 7.
a high 7 or a low 7?
Eh, mid to high 7. Mid to high
Mid to high
7.
7. Yeah, fair
Hmm
enough.
hmm hmm it's very good, and I actually if I have if I have like if I have friends who are open to animation
What about
movies,
me?
which
I thought I'm your friend.
did you oh my god, you keep on forgetting. Do you remember that you are just my figment of imagination?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
So
so
I'll poop
yeah.
out of your existence in a few more minutes, and
Eh,
I'll come back again the next week.
sure. But yeah, if I do have people who actually are like who actually do like animation, I would definitely recommend them to watch this one. Um, but I also have to keep in mind that I also have to know what kind of anime or kind of some kinds of movies that they also like. Because I wouldn't give them this if they like Fast and the Furious or any of the Marvel films, because it's very different. It's very different. Unless they're open to it, like who knows. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say. I guess what's gonna be our next film? Do you want to review
Okay, tell me.
Ambulance? Do you want to review
Ambulance.
Ambulance? Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, sure, sure.
A Michael Bay film, just to freshen things up, to get
Yeah, I
us
do
a
need a
little
bit of
bit.
fast-paced shit anyway. Yeah,
I
I need
think
to
it's
be need to turn off my brain and feel good, Get my eyes distracted by an explosion.
Oh,
Kaboom, kaboom, kaboom.
I think you're definitely going to be getting that for sure. I think it's still playing in theaters now. I might be wrong. But hopefully it's still playing in theaters because I really, I honestly speaking, I kind of miss Michael Bay a little bit, believe it or not, just a little bit. And knowing people actually saying that they like the movies, it got me even more curious. Like, okay, so he finally made another good film. Okay, I'm interested now. Well, speaking that his last good film is The Rock, which is technically his first feature film too, which says a lot. But
How about Pain and Gain?
Pain and Gain.
It's a decent movie.
Uh, so you want to do Ambulance or Pain and Gain?
Yeah, let's watch Ambulance. I already watched Pain and Gain.
Okay. I probably watch both of them. Just to get prepared if in case you have anything to say for Pain and Gain.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so thank you guys for watching us. Not watching, yes, listening to us. Well, if you're on YouTube, thank you for watching. Uh, where can we find us, Billy Boy, Billy
Find us
Coon,
on Instagram, on YouTube, Facebook, everywhere really.
Twitter,
Yeah. Also
TikTok?
under your table too.
Uh, Well, I think you can definitely find him, but not me. I'll probably be hiding in your closet. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
thank you
The first
for listening. Thank you for listening, and hope to see you the next episode.